Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of Walking into Adulthood. My name is Cindy Diani, and we have a special guest with us today. Hi, Denga. How are you?
Hi Cindy, I'm all thanks and yourself.
Good, thank you. So, take us down a trip through memory lane. Can you share with us one challenge quickly that you experienced while interning at your host organization, where you interned at, and how you overcome this challenge?
Okay, so I did my internship with JDR Stars football team, which is the football club that plays in the first division of the South African League. Well, I would say my challenge at the team was memorizing players' names because there were a lot of people. There were like 28 players that I had to meet, and including players, I had to memorize or familiarize myself with the technical team, the media team in general, just getting to grasp the names of all the players was a bit difficult for me, especially on match days, because I remember the first time when I was required to give live updates on social media, I struggled so much with writing the correct spellings of players, identifying the players on the pitch. But luckily for me, I had a very encouraging supervisor who was like, no, it takes time. It's only your first time. So the next time you will do better. And I overcame that challenge by just going to practice, attending the players' practices, and just having conversations with the players just to get to know them more. Because I believe that once you have conversations with people, then their names will always be on your mind when you see them.
Sure. And then please explain to us how did the content of our experiential learning module contribute to your internship experience? Can you mention any specific skills or knowledge that you applied in your coursework and you applied in your role as an intern at the soccer team?
Okay, obviously the first skill that I learned through experiential learning has to be the written communication skills because I remember before even going to meet the people in the team, I was required to actually construct a professional email, professional cover letter, and CV mentioning that I'm asking for an 80 hours experience at their club, and just in general, communication was the biggest part that I took from the classroom into my work because I had to communicate with a lot of people, the supervisors there. I had to even communicate with the other members of the teams. So I'd say communication skills, whether it's written, verbal, or non-verbal communication, those were very essential. And another thing would have to be the professional skills we learned from experiential learning because obviously I'm a girl and I'm exposed to a team that's full of men. I had to keep my professionalism out.
Nice. And in what ways do you think your work as an intern with the soccer team and as a media student, how did that enhance your understanding of the media industry?
Going into the team, right, I had always envisioned that media management is all about just posting on social media until I realized that there are a whole lot of processes that media people do within a team, like communicating with different teams, telling them that this is what the team will be wearing on that day, and also just working with the PSL officials who come and speculate or serve as spectators as to how the team is doing. Those are the people I worked close with as they before matches they'd require me to actually provide proof that my players, I mean the team's players are registered to play. And then I think that's the most important thing I learned because when I went there, I was closed minded about sports management in general.
Good. And were there any particular workplace skills that we covered in class that you experienced or you had to use as an intern with the soccer team?
Okay, work placement skills. I think I did mention the professionalism within the team. So that's one skill I took into the team. Because even, funny thing is, when it comes to professionalism, I, as a social media manager or part of the media team of a sports team, I'm not even allowed to celebrate a goal when it happens. I first have to always be on my phone, updating the fans. Then after updating the fans, that's when I have to celebrate, which is something that portrayed my professionalism side instead of my fanatic side of sports.
That's interesting. And can you lastly discuss the impact of your internship at a whole, your work experience, and your overall development as a media student? How did your internship shape your career aspirations? What important takeaways or insights did you gain from this opportunity?
What I gained from this opportunity is that it actually exposed me to the management of the sports team, because when most people look at football, they just see what's happening on the pitch and they don't know what happens behind the scenes. So the opportunity provided me with the inner view of what actually goes into creating a whole football pitch. And I think it also served as a validation for me, indicating that my dreams as an aspiring sports broadcaster or sports journalist are valid. And especially, I think it also provided me with extra skills, considering the fact that next year I'll be looking for a job. It has provided me with social media management skill. It has also provided me with content creation and poster creation, which I think are going to be very instrumental in my journey.
Thank you. That was very nice. I'd like to highlight just three things that I really picked up that you keep emphasizing on. I think professionalism is one. I think we've really gone into depth with our experiential module when it comes to professionalism. And I like the fact that you became real and mentioned the fact that being in a male dominated space and workplace, being a young female at that can be challenging at times. So big ups to you for being able to pull that. And I think you mentioned something about how you went into this not really knowing the back end of the media industry and being a sports broadcaster, and how this internship really opened your eyes in understanding that it's not all just colors and cool videos on social media. There's really a lot that goes into the back of it. And lastly, I think just communication skills. I feel we've also been really rooted down and been spoken about communication skills and being able to communicate efficiently, and how your coursework benefited you, whether negatively or positively, and how it benefited you as an individual also outside of being a media student and a journalism major. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. It was really nice having you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.